Stephen Bieber is going to give you an intro.
I was about to say, welcome back, Alchemist. You made it to the 52 weeks of wealth principles for real estate. This week, we're on a mission to go hunting. And to do that, we've got to be extremely good at two things: tracking and, looking good. No, wait a minute. It's not tracking and looking good. It's tracking and focusing, all right, for our net worth. So, no letter in the blue corner, the person that has your money. In the red corner, having the answers, creating income. So let's get ready for money. The man, the myth, the legend that builds millionaires, Walter Amarillo.
Let's give it up for Stephen Bieber and for everybody here on the call. AlchemistNation is on a mission to build 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires. And I've been asked recently, since we're already at 24, what are we going to do once we hit that 100? The answer is we'll build more. So let's give each one of you a round of applause for continuing the mission on. The goal will be at the end of this year, 1 million millionaires to begin the process, right? We're going to begin the process. So this wealth principle today is actually going to be combined with two wealth principles. I forgot to tell Stephen about this, and I made the decision this morning on my way back from the gym. The reason we do the wealth principles, by the way, is to double our net worth and double our income. Hence, if you're still committed to the cause, if you're still in it to do exactly that. Awesome. Excellent. So money is important. We live in an economic world. We don't live in a world of fairy tales where money grows on trees, but we do live in a world where money is printed from paper, which is grown on trees, and which, by the way, the government will just keep printing more. Silicon Valley Bank just completely messed up all of their deposits, and the government said, don't worry, your money's safe. And so they just printed an additional $300 billion. So, by the way, this is going to continue, which creates more and more inflation, which makes real estate a very good asset to be holding. So very thankful and blessed to be holding this asset. Hence, care if you are a real estate investor, a real estate landlord, or a real estate agent or real estate professional. Let's give you a round of applause because you build millionaires. That's who builds millionaires, right? 90% of millionaires are built through real estate. Now, billionaires, on the other hand, are built through business. That's a totally different apple, totally different orchard, totally different tree. Today, we're going to talk about two wealth principles. The first one is focus and track your net worth. Net worth is very important in becoming a millionaire because there are 4 steps to becoming a millionaire. The first step is to think a million, which was wealth principle number 1. The second step is to own a million. So just acquiring an asset worth $1 million would make you almost a millionaire, close to a millionaire, but you would own an asset. The next step after that, step number 3, is to have a net worth of $1 million. That means your asset minus your debt is worth $1 million. So if your asset was worth $2 million and your debt was $1 million, that would make you a millionaire. If your asset was completely paid off, that would also make you a millionaire. If it was worth $1 million and it was completely paid off. If you had an asset that was worth $5 million and you had partners, you were 50-50 partners with some folks, and you only owed $3 million on it, you and your partners would be a millionaire. Hands can if you understand the process for becoming a millionaire. Excellent. And then all the broke people and all the people out there who are like, well, you're a millionaire, you must earn $1 million a year. That's not what it means, but that is step 4, becoming an income earner of $1 million, which you don't necessarily have to do in order to be happy. Who here recognizes after 70,000, life doesn't change too much? So we're not doing it for happiness, clearly. Like, that's clearly not why we do it. We do it for impact. Hence, care if you'd like to help more people, serve more people, have an impact on the planet, maybe have like some sort of significance for being here, not just, oh, my family loves me and I raised a couple children, but maybe I made the planet a better place through my existence. Maybe my mission, my cause, my purpose, the one thing I saw that was fucked up in the world, I went and changed and had an impact. Hence, care if you know there's something you would change about this world. Awesome. We're on the same page. So becoming a millionaire is not about happiness. It is truly about becoming the best version of yourself. And for some of you who are already millionaires, well, we know why we continue, because we're very good at it. What else would we do? It's like asking Michael Phelps to stop swimming. Like, why would he stop swimming? He's a swimmer. Dude's got like an extra set of abs, right? He's got a whole extra set of ribs that make him swim faster. Hence, if you remember, the guy has a lot of gold because that's what he does, right? He's got a lot of gold because he does that. You do that. You build millionaires. Anyway, let's dive into first, before I jump into this principle, I'll share the other principle today. We're going to talk about principle number 10, which is increase your income through increments and surges. And the reason I tied these two together is because at the 100 Millionaire Summit, I want to be at Wealth Principle 52, which is sharpen the saw, which is what we're going to be doing for 3 days. For 3 entire days, we're going to fill the room with over 100 millionaires. I'm setting the goal for 500 people in that room, but possibly more. I've also had the question of who's going to be in the room. Well, it'll be 100 millionaires minimum. They'll also, oh yeah, answer the camera if you know you'll be there. Sorry, I saw you, Claudia. Awesome. Yes, of course, we're all going to be there. And we're going to be bringing our leaders. We're going to bring and inspire people who already run communities, people who already run groups, real estate brokers, real estate agents, the financial planners, the coaches, the people who actively are building millionaires. We're going to put them in the room and we're going to show them the tools so that they can each build 100 millionaires. Hence, if you understand why we're doing it, it's because we want to build 1 million millionaires. And we're going to start today. We're going to start this year. We're going to start every single day for the next, until we finish this goal. How do we build millionaires? It comes through leaders who build millionaires. So let's dive into Wealth Principle 9. Track and focus on your net worth. And each one of these principles, by the way, is to be implemented this week. The fact that we're doing 2 means I believe that you can do it. Hence the camera if you recognize that you are the one. You are the captain of your ship. You're capable of doing anything. If I've done it, you've done it. You can do it. So tracking your net worth is really important. We use something called a net worth tracker, where you put all of your assets on one side and all your liabilities on the other side, and you add them up so you can identify where you stand. If you have a whole bunch of credit card debt, there's a good chance that on the other side of it, you had some sort of fund or an asset purchased. For me, I'd never really put credit card debt out there as a thing for fun. My credit card debt was typically educational courses or renovations on one of my properties. Or sometimes something broke on my car, like a transmission when I was on my way to an appointment and I was hoping to make money, and then the transmission broke and it was done in a year that I was completely broke. I think I only had 17,000 of income that year. And so I had to start putting things on credit cards for actual survival. Hence, if you've ever been there, if you know what I'm talking about. Thank God the credit existed. So these scenarios can be tracked, and if you track it, you will get more of it. What you think about, you bring about. What you focus on expands. And so net worth, if you want to get to $1 million, you've got to start identifying what's working and what's not working. If you went to a vacation to Jamaica and you didn't get an educational course, you just went out there, you had fun, maybe you smoked some weed with the locals, and then you came back and you didn't change your business, you didn't increase your income, no extra money was made, that was a waste of time. If you didn't feel more inspired, right? But if you took that same amount of money and you invested it into a program that you came back and you became a sales beast, and maybe you spent $1,500, but then you became a sales machine, you made $10,000 in the next 3 months, that would be a good return on investment, because the next 3 months, you're probably going to do the same or better. Hence, carefully understand what makes an investment. Now, that money that you make, there's a couple of different ways. We're going to talk about how to apply it in the next principle, which we're going to do in about 5 minutes. When you're tracking, there's something called a barbell theory. Who's heard of this already? When you're tracking your net worth in financial planning, okay, so I'll explain it very quickly. The barbell theory is such that you should have on both ends of your financial, we'll call it portfolio, your net worth tracker, you should have assets that are safe, risky, and cash. And cash is the bar that holds it all together. A little bit of cash never hurt in a down economy. Hence, if you recognize you need to have cash when nobody else has cash. Because if you got cash and nobody else has cash, you become king or queen. And we want to be at the top of the pyramid. We want to be the one who has the best negotiating ability. So in order to acquire that, we must have a percentage of cash at all times. Now, there are stocks that you can invest in. There is crypto that you can invest in, which I put in kind of the same bracket because they're just digital or paper assets. And then you have real estate and you have business, actual business, because stocks and crypto technically are a business that somebody else manages and runs for you. When you're building your pyramid in the beginning, hence the camera, if you know it's different when you have $1 million from when you don't have $1 million, right? So millionaires, you diversify hard a little bit differently with stocks and with crypto. For people who do not have the $1 million, you do not touch stocks or crypto. Makes absolutely no sense to invest something that requires money and cannot be leveraged. When you have no money, you must rely on leverage, whether it's people leverage, money leverage, or time leverage. Hence, if you understand, leverage is more important to you if you don't have money. Excellent. It becomes less important the richer you get. Here's the irony. you end up with more leverage the richer you get. They give you more tools, they give you more resources. So we've just got to get there. And one of the ways to do that is to have the right assets. There are a series of assets that you must have in the right order. Warren Buffett has a saying. He says, you can have anything you want if you do enough of the right things early on in life and you don't make too many big mistakes. He says you can make a few small mistakes as long as early on in life you do a couple of things that are right. One of those things is buy a rental property, a multifamily or rental property that can eliminate the biggest expense that you have, which, by the way, all across the country, all across the world, the biggest expense that every human being has is their head, where they put it at night, where they lay it down for rest, where they shelter it. This right here is your biggest expense. It is also your greatest opportunity because what's going on inside of here could create massive potential for you. There's a lot of massive potential. So your housing is your biggest expense. If you can get your housing to become either net negative or profitable, you've already beat a part of the system. Hence, if you understand, you've got a house hack or you've got to get cash flow. One way or the other, you've got to get your housing paid for. That's step number one. So real estate tends to be a part of that investment strategy. If you don't have income, you cannot invest. It's very important to recognize that if you can't keep the lights on, if you can't pay your current housing, you should not be investing. You should be focused on being able to feed yourself. We have a few human needs, basic human needs, and one of them is food and water. Hence, if you understand, you won't last long without it. So keep the lights on is another way to say keep the lights on in the fridge on. Like make sure that you got food, make sure you got sustenance, and you're not out under a bridge. But if you did have to be out under a bridge in order to go and buy an asset, I would be okay with it. Hence the care if you recognize I've been homeless. I've done it. Yes, it's not fun, but fortunately, I was not homeless for very long because I called somebody. My network took care of me. My brother gave me a couch to sleep on. Hence the care if you got great family who would take care of you. Awesome. Hence the care if you don't have great family, but you've heard of couch surfing. It still exists. It doesn't really matter. The point is that no matter where you're at, you can always cut expenses, shift, and start investing. So this barbell theory, in the beginning, it should be as much of your time focused on driving your income. And the first asset you're focusing on is either your business or it is going to be your real estate. But once you've established your first piece of real estate, you go back to driving hard on the business because the business is the easiest thing to grow your net worth on. The business is the easiest. I'm going to say this again because a lot of people forget or miss this. Your business will be the easiest thing for you to grow or increase your net worth as long as you grow or build the right business. Do not build an agency. Well, actually, you can build an agency. Just don't be a self-employed agent. Don't be a real estate agent or an insurance agent. That's not building a business. Don't be a tax professional. That's not building a business. Own the agency. Yes, that's fine. Own the tax professional tax brokerage. That's fine. But do not be the cog in the wheel. It's fine to learn it, do it, and then scale it, right? But what I'm going to suggest is even better, is build a network, a database. Your business will grow through your database. Doesn't matter what business you build, you must have a database that is hit consistently. You must build a tribe or community. That is what is being sold these days. If you look at the big corporations, what are they buying? They're always acquiring a list. They don't necessarily acquire the technology. But why does Facebook buy Instagram? It had all the ability to run the same technology. That wasn't the reason they purchased it. They purchased it for the list of users that were already on there. Why did Elon buy Twitter? It was not because he wanted to own a social media. He could have built a social media all by himself. If you understand, he could have done it. He could have built a social media. The dude put a car in space. He just threw a car in space for no reason, right? So he can build a social media platform. Here's why he didn't. The user base that already exists. That's why. So your business, as you're growing it, you need a network. You need a community. That's how you build your business. And I showed the other day, actually, for our community builders, I showed a net worth tracker. This is how I build millionaires in 6 months. Hands if you'd like to see how I build millionaires in 6 months, the actual spreadsheet of how it's done. Excellent. We build a community. Like that's the secret. The secret message is you build a community within the real estate space and you offer coaching or mentorship. It doesn't have to be you offering it. Somebody else could offer it because that's a $500 income that you're making, but I charge $2,000 for my mentorship. So affiliate fees, whatever. Here's how it all adds up. You're making about $152,000 from mentorship, off-market listings, event sponsors, coaching splits from stage. Alchemist Financial or your own lending operations, commissions and wholesale fees, and partnering up on deals. Now, the partnering up on deals ends up with at least if you partner on one sweet deal, we'll call it a $2-3 million deal, and you get 10% of the equity in that deal, that makes you about $300,000 net worth. It's the multiple of your income that actually makes you a net worth millionaire, because you can sell this database, this company that is connecting a community together, for around a 5 times multiple. Whereas if you're just a real estate agent, you'd only be able to sell your database for 1.5 because you have no real tangible value. Hence, if you recognize when they're coming back and they're meeting over and over again, you can sell them every time that they come to you. That's what a network is built for. This is just one strategy. But if you're not focused on your database, if you're not focused on delivering the idea of community or tribe to your business, you will end up without a business, without a saleable business. If you're in business, you're an agent, or you're a salesperson, or you're a golf trainer, because we got Claudia on the call here. Her husband trains golf, right? But if he doesn't build a community or tribe that gets together around sponsorship events, around like doing the tournaments and stuff, he will one day not have a business. He won't be able to sell his business to anyone. But if he runs a tournament or a series, he now has a business because he's built a tribe of people who come back over and over. Hence, if you understand, this works in every business. It works especially well in real estate, because real estate investors are told to network. Real estate investors go to real estate investor associations. Anyway, just teasing it out there that your net worth will be easier to build on the business side than the real estate side right now, because I'm expecting the real estate market to drop 20%. I say that knowing I don't have a crystal ball, but I can guarantee you it will drop 20% at some point in the future. Hence, if you recognize it will go down, and it will typically go down about 20%. Some markets more than others. Florida went down 70%. Vegas went down 70%. So some markets will get obliterated, but we don't know which ones, and we don't know when it will occur. But my guess is 2025, 2026. I've been saying that since 2020, that is statistically the year that makes the most sense. Hence, if you're at the 100 Millionaire Summit the last 2 years and saw my prediction, it's been the same. I've not changed it. It's exactly the same. I've been calling for a 2025, 2026 beginning of crash. And the reason is this demographic shifts that must happen. It's called the silver tsunami and a millennial tsunami. And these two coming together, they're coming to a head, but it's not happening yet. Hands to the camera if you recognize, the more we focus on the right things, the more we get the right things. What we focus on expands. True or true? So I want you to focus on and do your net worth tracker this week, and maybe do it today. I want you to focus on and expand your business network, and then add income streams to the existing network. I just showed you 7 income streams off of one network, one client, one avatar, one relationship, one business. If you can add an income stream, you increase the value of the business. It's just like multifamily. If I can increase the rents, I increase the cap rate. And if that makes sense, we understand how this works. Awesome. So your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to go to gualtermerlo.com, or actually go to AlchemistNation.com, download the net worth tracker, and then complete the net worth tracker yourself. Go through and just fill out, here's what I owe on my car, here's what my car is worth, go to Kelley Blue Book, here's what I owe on my house, here's what my house is worth, here's, I own jewelry, here's what my jewelry is worth, I own paintings, whatever, you own silver or stocks or crypto. Just go through and do your net worth tracker. Easiest way to do it is probably mint.com. Not a sponsor of Mint, although thinking back now, maybe I should be an affiliate. Hence, if this is valuable, we understand the value of our net worth. Hence, if you'd love to have a net worth of $1 million by the end of the year. Hence, the camera, if you'd love to have a net worth of $1 million by the summit, so you can walk on stage with our millionaires and receive your award. Excellent. So we built 24 over the last 3 years. The goal, it would be to build the other 66 this year. And the way we're going to do it is building communities around your business. So if you don't already have a community or a group that you're running and operating, have a conversation with our team. Make sure that you're messaging somebody in our team. If your community is not growing fast enough, please schedule a call with our team. And we will make sure we look at it and tell you what you're doing wrong. Hence, if you understand, if it's not growing, it's your fault. And we will help you fix that. Excellent. Number 10 wealth principle of this year is increasing your income through increments and surges. This is something I pulled from Grant Cardone. And I'm going to talk about the books of the week because I don't see Mike on here.
8
Doug,
minutes.
thank you, brother. Thank you, Stephen. This principle is, oh, by the way, the reason Steven just told us 8 minutes is because I have to go and clean up a beach here in Tampa because I donated. Alchemist Nation is sponsoring a beach cleanup in the Tampa area because that's what we do. We impact our communities in a positive way. Hands can, if you recognize, that's what we do. Why else make your money, right? Unless you can throw your money around in a way to change the community around you. So I will be leaving at exactly 10:45, but I've got a clock that says 10:30. I'm getting out of here. And then the coaches will take over Q&A after that. Wealth principle number 10 is increase your income in increments in surges. The reason that is important is because the surges allow you to invest into passive income structures. And passive income structures typically don't provide, 100% return on investment like your time will. So your time can return tremendous return on investment because it costs you nothing other than obviously the most valuable asset you have, which is your time. Hence, can't we agree time's most valuable? And yet most of you are wasting it. True or true? Yeah, most of you are just letting time go by, right? If you haven't made $1 million this year, it's because you have not been efficient with your time. Hence, can't you recognize the inefficiencies, or at least that they might be there? Maybe you don't recognize what they are, but at some level, your life has not been efficient enough to produce or create $1 million. Hence, can't you believe that there is $1 million out there sitting waiting for you? If there is an excess, just a little $1 million. Yes, there's $36 trillion in stock accounts and 401ks. There's I'm saying it one more time, 36 trillion just in America, $36 trillion locked up in people's 401ks and IRAs and retirement accounts. This is an important factor since that's what you as a real estate investor or a business owner can utilize to build your business, to increase the size of your business. If you have an asset worth $5 million, but you bought it for $4 million and you financed the whole thing with somebody else's money, isn't that going to make you a millionaire? That million is yours. Hence, can't we understand? The money is out there. The assets are out there. Do we agree? There's, I want to say $86 trillion in real estate in the world. $86 trillion of real estate assets. Hence, can't you recognize there's no shortage of money? The only shortage of money has been in your mind. It's just been a perception of shortage. It's been a perceived lack. And so increments are necessary because you got to believe. The surges are also necessary because you've got to believe you can make it. I know before I made $100,000 in a month, I had to make $100,000 in a year. It just seemed like it had to happen for me. But then once I made it in a year, I then was able to make it in a single month. And then I had to make $1 million in a year. But once I made $1 million in a year, I was able to make $1 million in a single month. I was able to make $1.5 million in a single month. So these increments, these, I had to build it over time, monthly, weekly, daily, just little increments of increasing my income so that I could then believe that it was possible to do something bigger. Hence, care if that makes sense. If we understand that this works. Okay, so let me give you an example of what that might look like. So you may build your real estate investor network. You may build your real estate investor network, and you make about 150,000 after a year, right? That's about your incremental income. That's been the gain. 2 years you operate. Maybe year one you make 100,000 or 80,000. Year two you make 150, 160,000. But in year two or year three, you're then able to sell the asset for, let's call it $500,000-$600,000. That's a surge. Hence, if you see how the increments led to the surge, right? Having those little amounts, if you build the right asset. Now, if you've done this in your job, say you go and you work your job and they're paying you a big old salary of $100,000 a year, which, good luck finding that. They do exist if you're highly educated or highly, trained, but they're harder to find than building a business that makes six figures. Hence, more business owners making six figures than employees. Yeah, me too. I very rarely meet an employee making six figures, but they do exist. I don't want to say it doesn't exist. That one guy out there who's like, well, I make six figures. Okay, you're the exception, not the rule. Here's what I'm saying. When you invest your time in building a business, you get the increments, you're adding to the ultimate value of your business. And then when you sell that business, by the way, wealth principle 33, build your business, sell your business, and get rich. Hence, if you agree, you got to sell it in order to get to the next level. Like if you want to invest $1 million into some passive investment or $500,000 into some passive investment, you're going to have $1 million to invest in that. which means sell your business, pay a little capital gains, or defer the tax and invest into something passive. And so if you understand this process, it makes a lot of sense. There are financial instruments you can invest with to pay no taxes as long as you're staying within the same asset class. Right? When we do it in real estate, it's called a 1031 exchange. When we do it in business, it's called a 1041 exchange. So you can stay inside that asset class and just shift to something a little more passive without paying taxes. You will defer the tax to the next gain. Now, I want you to do an exercise with me, because there is something that you could do right now that you could increase your increments. There's a business or a model, and I'm going to suggest a community that you could build around your business. And if you don't have a community that you can build around your business, you may want to join the Recession Proof Challenge, which we do every single month. We start on the first Monday of the month. I think it's the 3rd this month. And we're going to be going through how to find your avatar, how to build your community, how to create a group, how to attract them. And it only costs $97. And the reason it costs $97 is because if you're so broke you can't handle $97, you're not ready to build a community. But if you've got $97, then you might want to start helping grow other people and become a millionaire yourself. Hence, if you understand the difference. If you're so broke you don't got $97, you are not ready to help other people. But if you are charitable enough to go and help somebody to acquire the $97 to pay for a 21-day challenge where I'm involved and Stephen Beaver's involved and Mark Dozwa is involved, then you might have a chance at success in life. Hence, Cameron, you know, you got to invest in yourself, little things to create those increments and then surges. So I want you to write down on a piece of paper, what is your ideal client? Who would be that ideal client? If you want to get an increment or a surge, you're going to have to go and charge them something. If you want a big increment or a big surge, sometimes flips will do that. But I don't encourage flipping right now unless you're a sophisticated investor, unless you have the experience in the market, because I know a lot of even sophisticated investors are getting beat up on their flips. I know a lot of real estate investors who are getting destroyed right now. I've been on a lot of calls, like I said earlier before this session, when I was just in the mastermind with you guys, that a lot of people I know, personal millionaire friends, are getting slaughtered in the market right now, because they bought things wrong, things cost more than they expected, things got delayed, financing got all messed up because the government's been pushing rates, which there's nothing wrong with it. I love the government pushing rates because it's going to drive prices down eventually. But it's causing a lot of problems in the marketplace, which is something I solve. I solve problems. Hence, if you're an entrepreneur, we solve other people's problems for a living. Yes, that's right. So I don't mind the problems. They're not good. They're not bad. But a lot of my friends are getting beat up. A lot of like people I respect or people I just met at 10X at Grant Cardone's event. Many of these guys who are extremely successful, millionaires, multimillionaires, are getting destroyed because they didn't do anything wrong. The market's just beating them up. Hence, if you understand, we're in a recession. We truly are in a recession. There's no getting around it. You cannot deny the fact that people are earning less in some areas, but other people are earning more in other areas. We evaluated our 11 businesses and we looked and we said, okay, a few of these, we're not going to grow them anymore. We're just going to put these on the shelf. They're going to sit over there. And then the other ones, we're going to explode because they're going up in value. They're helping other people save money. That's a business I should be in a recession, right? They're helping people make money. That's a business I should be in a recession, right? This particular one, AlchemistNation, builds millionaires in a recession. This is a business I should explode into. Hence, if you understand, it makes more money in a recession than it ever did before the recession. I mean, it did well before, but now in a dark time where the recession is hitting, like building networks. Oh my God, networks basically are building clients, marketing, sales. Like these businesses that we're invested in are exploding. Skills, alchemist skills, right? Shifting people's mindset so that they learn a new skill to acquire more money or a better job increases other people's income, which means they have income to pay for this skill. Hence, if you understand where we're going to be going in the next few years. And Elizabeth asked me, she said, what are the 5 recession-proof businesses to be in? I'm going to give them to you right now.
And then you've got to go.
And then I got to jump, yes. Well, then I got to give the books of the week. There's 2 books this week. Here's the 5 skill sets or businesses that will be indestructible, even with AI, even with robotics, even with the economy. These are 5 indestructible streams of income, businesses to be in over the next 5 to 10 years. Hence, if you could become a millionaire in the next 5 years, especially if you're hanging with us, do what I'm telling you to do, you become a millionaire in 6 months if you do the right actions. Here are the 5. First, sales, non-negotiable. You got to be good at sales. You could build a whole company around selling other people's products. You'd be rich because people don't have sales skills and companies need salespeople. Sales is a powerful skill to have right now. I am a great salesperson. I don't just sell to one person. I can sell to many people. Hands can if you've ever paid me money at some point in your career and in our relationship. I can sell to many. Hands can if you spent money while a bunch of people were on the call. A bunch of people have spent money at the same time. Sales is a skill worth learning, and it's something an AI can't do. They can't do what I do. They can't do what great salespeople do. Number two, marketing. Marketing is a complex, creative, and also blunt force kind of business. There's a lot of things that AI can help us with on marketing, but there's some things it just can't figure out, which is where eyeballs are connecting when there's no data stream. Part of our biggest, most powerful marketing is live events. AI can't figure it out. It can't replace the human being at the live event. Hands can if you're recognizing this. So in-person marketing is going to become even more powerful. Live events become even more powerful. Number three, education. Education is going to be so necessary over the next 5 years because people are going to reposition their jobs. They're going to have to reposition their skills. They're going to have to reposition what they've learned because they've been automated. A robot now does what you do, sucker. Like, that's what happened, right? If you drive trucks, pretty soon Elon's going to be like, we don't need you anymore. You good. Like, that's a huge industry with high incomes. They're going to need to retool their skills. And so we're going to be bringing that to the marketplace. We're going to be helping bring that. And if you can educate people on a new skill that involves something that is like irreplaceable, like sales or marketing, then you too will become recession proof. Hence, if you understand, we're selling, we're educating, we're getting paid, like, because we're teaching people how to make more money. Another skill necessary is business acumen. Business acumen. People who can make a company more profitable are more valuable to the company than the person in payroll. The people who can make a company more profitable are more important to the company than the person who's sitting on the operations floor. Hence, if you understand, if you can make a company more profitable, including your own, you become richer because companies value profit in a recession. And they value profit in a time where there's all this disruptive technology, like beating people up. So if you want to get some more increases of income or surges of income, invest in one of these 4 businesses or skills. And the fifth one is affiliate marketing, which is kind of a combination of sales and marketing. True or true? It's kind of actually a combination of all 4 of these streams of income. It's kind of the combination of business acumen, sales, marketing, and education. So affiliate marketing, although I do give it its own little bracket, it's kind of the fusion of all 5. Hence, if you recognize AlchemistNation is a monster affiliate marketer. That's what we do. We help our people find the people who can help them get to that next level. Instead of building it ourselves, we're not that arrogant. We don't think we can do everything perfectly. We go out and we find the person who's built it better than us. It's who, not how, right? You build these skills, one of them, just pick one, or pick them intentionally and you get all 4, or you partner with the 4 people who can build a great affiliate team, or you partner with somebody who's already built it out and you just build and market. Hence, if you recognize you can get rich over the next 5 years and you don't have to worry about AI. You don't got to worry about robotics. You got to worry about the genomics of these people, these kids coming out being faster, smarter, better, because you got a business, an asset. Build it strong, increase your income in increments by building in your relationships and building your network. Become a leader. In a world of followers, be a leader. Hence, if you recognize, that's what every influencer out there is tracking their followers. I don't give a shit about followers. I want to hang with leaders. I want to hang with each one of you. I want leaders who are willing to support other followers and other leaders. In a world of followers, be a leader and you can't lose. I'm telling you this because if you are the person who picks a direction, other people will follow you. They can't help themselves. We literally are in a world of people who don't know how to make decisions. A confused mind says no. If you put 2 things in front of them, they just walk away. They have no clue. This world is not equipped to be decisive. Hence, if you're seeing that. You're seeing that in the social media, right? Like if a person comes out and they're very like, this is how things are. This is how it is. Everybody's like, yeah, I agree with you. We should stick to whatever he says or she says. Like, we got to go do that thing. Hence, if you're feeling this in the world right now, today, right? Everybody, right? It's like, oh, well, I stand by the blue side. I stand by the red side, right? Well, we got our group and our group. Well, fuck. Well, okay, you got your thing. Who's making all the decisions? Oh, well, that person said so. I follow them. I follow them on TikTok, right? I follow them on Instagram. Guys, gals, this is our year, right? These next 2 years, it is our opportunity to just improve the lives of the drones, right? There's just a bunch of people out there who have no fucking clue, and they need you to help them. They need you to go out and support them, and you're going to get paid so much money, because once you unplug them, they become leaders too. Once you give them that awareness of what they're actually capable of, that they're actually this powerful, sentient being with the ability to serve and come up with great creative ideas, they're not in a competitive space, right? Once they've experienced alchemy from you and from this community, they actually become a resource, not just for themselves, but for you on this mission that you have. Hence, if you got something you want to change in the world, something great that you think you could be a part of, absolutely. Wouldn't it be nice to have some support, not from just followers, but from other leaders, people you've built, people who trust you, people who know that you do all your dealings morally, ethically, legally, that you are trustworthy to help them get to where they want. Make room for them in your company. Make room for them in your organization. Make room for them in your community. Hence, if you commit to making room for others to help them get rich, so that you too can vicariously become wealthy. It's just a part of the game. I was asked the other day, how much money do you want to make? And I was like, dude, like, what do you mean? How much money do I want to make? I just make a lot of money. I just keep making more. It's, if I were to look at the scoreboard, which of my net worth tracker, I just double it. That's what I do. I just keep doubling. I keep doubling it. They're like, well, why do you keep working? Because I'm very good at it. Like, what else would I do? Why do I go to the gym? I'm a gym guy, right? I got to get biceps. Like, that's what I did last year. This year, I got to get quads. You know, these things got to grow. I was walking around with chicken legs for 6 years. Since camp, if you understand, you got to be healthy, right? You got to live long. You got to go to the gym. You got to be on this planet. You got to make money. You want friends? You're going to have to help people, right? If you want a good life, then you're probably going to have to build a business that allows you to spend time with your friends, that allows you to travel, that allows you to help people, that allows you to make enough money so you can buy the things that you didn't think you wanted before. And it's can't recognize that's what money is. Money is just, you just use it for a lack of a relationship, right? I don't have to pay for things when my friend has an abundance of it. I do have to pay for things when I'm talking to somebody who doesn't know me. If they've never met me before, I got no way to add them value. Like, they're just like, give me money. Cool. I don't know you. I don't want to know you. Let's money exchange. And it's key to recognize that's what money is all about, right? That's why, by the way, if you love your friends, if you love your family, you're going to give them an opportunity to make money with you. If you love your friends, you love their family, you're going to give them an opportunity to let their money sit with you while you go and build something amazing, because they don't know what to do with it, right? They don't have the capacity. They don't have the ability. You need to bring that to them. You are the leader. And it's to recognize you got some responsibility. You might be the black sheep in the family, right? You're wondering why, like, they're doing all these other things and you're doing your own little thing. It's because they're just a bunch of followers following everybody else. And you start at some point, you woke up and you realized, oh, wait, this is actually a game that we could play. We can actually improve our lives. We're not stuck playing these same old roles. We're not NPCs, non-player characters in the game, right? We have the ability to go out and change. Hence, if you are the captain of your ship and looking to serve your community, serve your world, serve your family, take them to a place they never imagined possible, give yourselves a big round of applause. There are 2 books this week. Book number 1 for the principal track and focus on your net worth is Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by Harv Eker. If you have, Hanscamp, you've read this book before? Excellent. So, Doug, I'm going to have to log off in like 2 minutes. I'm going to ask if you could do the review on this book. There she is. Claudia's got the book as well. And then the other book for Wealth Principle 10 is the 12-week year. Ask if you've read this book. Who's read the 12-week year? Excellent. Who would like to volunteer? Oh, Thurman's gonna have to do this. Thurman, can you give us a review on the 12-week year, brother? Unless Steven, have you read it?
Yeah, absolutely. I got you.
I live it.
Yeah.
So the reason
Yeah.
there is no, hold on, Thurman. I'm gonna let Doug do it first, and then I'm gonna let you do it next. And for everybody who's on the call, I'm going to go clean up a beach because that's what millionaires do. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your commitment to yourself, to this community, to your family, to becoming a leader, to becoming better. And if you haven't already started building your tribe, building your database, please book a call with Darina. She's not on a call right now because she's already at the beach. But if you have not had a conversation with her, please book a call with Darina. And if you don't know how to get in touch with Darina, please message anyone on this screen right now. Any single one of these people who have their face on, their camera on, is somebody I know, like, and trust. So let's give my community a big round of applause. These are our leaders. These are men and women who are taking it to the next level. Awesome. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And Doug, you are up. By the way, Doug, if you don't know who Doug is, well, I apologize because you're missing out on a great opportunity to have a really powerful person in your life. Doug is the maximizer. He trained with Tony Robbins for 3 years, was a coach for Tony Robbins in his community, helping build people into the ultimate champions of themselves. He was touring the country. He would go into real estate offices and speak to the agents and help the agents increase their income, increase their mindset, increase the abundance. And then he would bring them back to the UP double so they could unleash the power within with Tony Robbins. And Doug would be there with them, supporting them and helping them get out of their mindset and into the new place they want to get. And he does that now with our community. He created the Alchemist Manifesto. If you haven't read this, it's a game changer. And he's also one of the top speakers, the main speaker at the 100 Millionaire Summit this year, November. Let's give Doug McGurk a big round of applause. Doug, how's that, huh?
Thank you. Let's give Walter some love. Come on. As he's going out there and serving. God bless you, brother. Thank you so much. And enjoy.
Thank you.
So, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, right off the rip, you should probably figure out what is it about? What do you think? Your mind. This is about your relationship with money, with finances. And it's about, and the great thing about the book is that it's not just about money, right? Because one of the things that Walter said, I've said, it's where it came from, is how you do anything is how you do everything. And that's a T. Harv Eker conversation. So essentially what the Secrets of the Millionaire Mind unpacks is, what is your relationship with money, with being a millionaire? That's why Walter wrote that first book, Broke to $250,000, because most people's mindset can't jump from 0 to millionaire. It has to come in increments, ergo the conversation today. It's incremental, fits and surge. But what we want to really look at is what is our relationship with money? Where do we value it? And what have been some of the old stories that we've told around money? What are some of the beliefs that we have around money, right? The old saying we've heard I'm sure our younger days, our parents going, money doesn't grow on trees, right? Things of that nature. And if you were to look back, what are some of the beliefs that you've adopted? Well, let's back up, and I don't want to belabor the point. How many of you, if you've noticed that maybe you've taken up some patterns of some people you were raised by? Maybe you've caught yourself going, oh my gosh, I'm sounding like my mom, my dad, my grandmother, my whatever, someone who was of influence. And the challenge there is that sometimes we adopt, there we go. Yeah, Richard, money is dirty. Rich people are mean. Rich people stole things, right? So when we have this mindset, what happens is we, other than consciously, will prevent ourselves from achieving certain goals because we believe that if we were to do this, we would then be dirty. We would be mean. We would steal things, what have you. I'll share with you real briefly, and then we'll go to Thurbin. Growing up, and I may have shared this, money's the root of all evil, right? It's the greed of it. That's true. It's not the root. It's when I was growing up, I grew up in a pretty well-off area on Long Island, Garden City, New York. If any of you are familiar with that, it's a pretty posh town. And we were the poor family, though. My dad moved us in there for the school system. But when I was growing up, he didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have a lot of money. We were like literally we shopped at the thrift stores and TJ Maxx and whatnot. It wasn't until later my dad had money. But what happened was, I had this belief system that rich people were assholes, because all the people that I went to school with, they were all the preppy, pop collars, Izods, the whale pants, all that kind of stuff, wearing pastels. And I basically had a very limiting belief around finances. So what happened when I started making money, I started becoming successful in the music industry. I blew it as fast as I possibly could so that other people didn't think I was that rich asshole. So I would be the guy, oh, no, I'll pay for dinner. No, oh, you need money for rent? No problem. Here you go. Thousands upon thousands, tens, 20, like at least I'm sure. I never calculated it because I didn't count it at the time. I didn't track it. I didn't anything. I was like, oh, all right, just don't think I'm a rich asshole, right? No, here, you take it. Wasn't until I met my mentor and then started getting into, well, no, actually, at first I read Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And here's the thing, gang. How many of y'all, like, when you hear stuff, you go, that makes sense. You hear someone go out there say, it's like, oh, that makes sense, but you're not seeing it in your life yet. And you're like, but then what gives? What do you mean? You know, and everyone's making it look so easy and all of this. And so I was on that path. I went to Tony. I transformed my music business. Just all that. And then I read Secrets of Millionaire Mind. I went to the event, the Millionaire Mind Intensive. I totally immersed myself in it. But I had a really powerful opportunity with my mentor. He was the guy that financed the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and all that. Not Lou Pearlman, the money behind Lou Pearlman. And I had a really powerful moment. And I'll end with this story. He says, I just ended up hanging out with him all day when I first met him. Amazing guy. And he's a billionaire. And I was like, what's your relationship with money? Like, I was completely honest. I'm like, I got you. I'm asking every question I could possibly ask. And he says, and we talked about a lot of stuff. He was like, what's the difference? He was very spiritual. What's the difference between Christianity? Oh, no, he told me, he goes, you know the difference between Catholicism and Judaism? I was like, what? He was about 27 feet. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, the temple where I grew up was on one side of the street, and across the street was the Catholic Church. And I went to both, and they're pretty much the same thing. Meaning, all about understanding your mindset, understanding how to show up, understanding humanity and our relationship with people, with God, with spirituality. All roads lead to Rome. So then I got into the money, and he said, look, he goes, it is your responsibility to make as much money as you possibly can. Because if you don't have it, you can't give it away. You can't help others. And I was like, oh, that's okay. It's true. And we talked about a bunch of other things. So then I go to my dad, who at the time I thought was a rich asshole. And I'm like, Dad, what's your relationship with money? And he says, well, it's opportunity. I said, what do you mean? He says, well, I like golf. He goes, I like golf. And all those properties that I was, working on, building these golf courses and condominium projects. He was financing Jack Nicklaus on his golf courses and condominium projects. He goes, I like golf, but he goes, do you know how many people it takes to build a golf course? I was like, no. He goes, a lot. And we employed them. Do you know how many people it takes to build a condominium? 500 units? I was like, or townhouses? I was like, no. He goes, a lot. Because you know how many homes that provides? I was like, whatever, how many doors is it? He goes, yeah, exactly. So we provide homes. What money is just a way to provide opportunity for people. And, the exchange of goods and services for it provides jobs, provides homes, provides opportunity. And then obviously an opportunity is a very devout Catholic, and an opportunity to tithe and help others. And then I was like, oh, you're not such a dick after all, are you? You just happen to like golf. So I share that story with you because there's plenty of stories like that in Millionaire Mindset, or Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And I suggest you read it. It's an easy read. T.R. Eker is a great guy. I actually, right before the pandemic, side note, right before the pandemic, I would the last live event that the company that bought MMI, I was with the president of the company, and I was going to be facilitating the Millionaire Mind Intensive. I was there, working the deal out, and that was their last event they ever had. The company went bankrupt after that, and there's a whole other story of that. It's not because they were bad with their money. They made a few bad deals. But with that being said, thank you all, and let's give it up for Thurbin. Come on, let's hear about the 12-week year.
Yeah, so the 12-week year, it's basically it talks about how most of us when we make our goals for the year, what we really end up doing is we put it on the back burner for months and months, and then towards the end of the year, most of the work towards the goal actually gets done. So with the 12-week year, it just kind of gives you a framework for treating 12 weeks as 1 year, because most of your goals, if you can really just contextualize it don't really require that much time. So with the 12 weeks, it gives you like a structure of how to operate every single week to get towards your goals, as well as by having a 12-week year, you can get 4 years in, within a single year compared to someone who's just operating on 1 year, as well as allows you to be more effective, grow your business, and be more productive. So yeah, it's definitely a great tool. I would recommend to anybody just looking to be more productive and learn more ways to just be efficient in your just everyday life.
Right on.
Nice job.
So, questions about today? Anything that anybody wants to know? You guys do not understand the amount of knowledge that Doug and everybody here, Lou, Mark, everybody, Frank, I mean, Thurbin, he looks young and he is young, but he knows stuff, right? So, but now's the time. Melanie Santos is on here. She's not, and you can't see her, but she's amazing. So, if there's anything, just unmute your mic and start talking. Don't raise your hand. Just first person to talk gets it.
I seriously have to say, if you are struggling with your mindset around money, or maybe falling back into like old habits, or maybe falling into like a victim stance, seriously read The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, because the first time that I came to 52 Weeks to Wealth, I was like really in like this victim place, like, you guys have all this money and I don't have no money, and that's not where I come from, and where did you guys even start? And it was like, everybody was like, DJ, you need to read this book. And I was like, I don't need a book, I need some money. And I literally did say that. That minute I downloaded this book, because I don't read books very often. I listen to them. So I downloaded it on Audible. I listened to it that night. I listened to it while I drove Uber and Lyft that night. I listened to the entire book. I got what, not only did I get more tips that night, but it was just seriously opened my eyes and reminded me that I was in a place of boohoo me, rather than look what I can go get. Look what is already mine that I just need to grab. So if you're struggling at all, read the book. Even if you're not struggling, read the book or listen to it.
Let's give DJ a big round of applause. She's so on it right there. Everybody always says, I want more, I want to make more money. Well, to earn more money, you need to be more than what you are right now. That's where you are right now, is why you're earning the money you want. So, or you're making. If you want to earn more money, it's called self-development. It's number 2 on my calendars. The second thing you need to put on your calendar is time for self-development. I guarantee you, everybody in here that has been with this community is working on self-development. So you've got to do it. It's what every learning seems to be the common denominator for every successful person. They're never smart enough. They always want to know more. Ask Doug. I mean, he's freaking. I'm going to praise too much on him because he won't get a big head, and then I'll feel bad. But I mean, this guy knows stuff. I mean, it's when you talk with this guy, is amazing, right? I mean, I learn stuff every time, and we talk about the same thing. But it's like, oh, he's got this different perspective, and he does this and he does that, and it's just amazing. And so self-development is a big thing. Very, very good. Let's give DJ another big round of applause, because that is huge.
I'd like to just say that mindset is great around money, but it's also important who you surround yourself with, because you tend to adapt to the environment that you are surrounded by. And I really noticed that in the last year or so, as I got into the Alchemist Nation, my my beliefs about money have changed as my network has. And so network is so valuable. So appreciate you guys.
Right on, right on. I think everybody would agree that most everything that you've ever done was because of somebody else helping you or knowing you or being there for you. Our relationships are everything. We're creatures of community. We are not hermits. We don't work well together, work well apart. We work better together. Yeah, there's friction in every time, but that's called learning to work with people. That's just a skill, right? But yeah, so absolutely. Lois, girlfriend, good job. Big round of applause, right? So yeah. What else?
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Absolutely, go for it.
Thank you, give me a chance. So I want to ask Doug, so maybe you know your business level is high. I want to ask because I feel a pain in real estate. I have good deal on hand. I have private money support me. And I put some of my money, but each project I still need a gap fund. So I ask, do you have knowledge for how to raise this funding quickly, because I give 15% cash return to this investor? I don't know. I heard some people there are what they're called? They're called funds raiser. So how can I reach this kind of people, even I give some equity to them and help me faster growing?
So great question. And to Lois's point, it's about your network. Build your network, surround yourself with people who are looking for deals, and they will, if they don't know somebody, oftentimes they will find somebody. They may recommend somebody, but not every deal is for everybody. People have different risk tolerances. People have different comfort zones. People have different verticals that they like to invest in. Some people have a certain size. Some they won't even bother in a certain size. So it's
you are right. So
yeah.
All my deal is over that $1 million. Not everybody can do that deal, but I know market price. I know how to calculate the cost, and I know I have a profit margin there. I just fear I waste the resources on my hand because my network is not large enough.
Well, so that's the trick, is just continue to grow your network. I mean, it's a simple and easy answer in that get out there and be in the environment where the money is. And I know Walter is talking, it might have been last week or the week before, where we talked about where those people are. You want to infiltrate those networks, hang out at charities, hang out at RIAs, hang out in environments where money is making money. And that's
yes, I did that. I went to church, I went to organization. I said I can donate 5% of my network, my net profit to your organization, to your community. I don't have a good result. So I was thinking, my question is that, do you have that kind of connection? People are very scared for funds raiser, so I can connect with people.
Yeah, yes and no. Again, they all have different tolerances. And again, you build a network with people like me. I don't, off the first rip, the first thing I don't do is when I vet my contacts as well. So it is a long game in some respects. Once you get a score, you make someone money, then you become the go-to person. So it can take some patience in building that relationship, because not everybody's going to throw money at the first opportunity. They want to build a relationship. They're wanting to trust. They're wanting to understand where's the track record. I mean, one of the first calls oftentimes people will ask is, has this person ever been sued? What is their track record? How many deals have they done? So it's more than a 5-second call here, but you're on the right path and you're doing all the right things.
Thank you. I agree with you for that. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Let's give Christina a big round of applause. That's a great question. I put in Darina's email again for those people that want to talk about how to build a network. There's no one better in the business. She is amazing. And then Michael Giangelis also said if you got questions to go ahead and contact him. So that's right there. I will tell you that if I have a choice, and I do, I will pick a relationship over a transaction every day of the week. If somebody comes to me and says, I got a great deal and I don't know who they are, that's nice. If Walter or Doug or Mark or Eric or anybody comes to me and says, I've got a great deal, let's talk. So it's all about the relationship. You can promise me 1,000% in 2 days. That's nice. And you could be legit. That's nice. I don't know you, right? So working on the relationship. That's why we're so focused on networking. It's because it's all about the relationship. You're one person away, knowing one person for changing your future. You don't know that person yet. When you meet that person will change your future. That one person changed your future to where you are here too, and another one and another one. So you're one person away from changing your future. So that's why relationships are so important. So right on. Another question.
Tasheen, yeah.
So my question would be, first of all, I want to thank everybody for their time and for this amazing community, because it is in fact an amazing community. My question would be for individuals such as myself who have a lot of knowledge in a specific field such as real estate, but haven't closed any deals and are currently working to start closing deals and acquiring assets. How do you leverage that, the knowledge over the income, because you don't really have the credibility to say that you've closed deals or things like that, to be able to build that right team so that you can move forward within your network?
Vinney Chopra's first investor. Vinney was living in California. His first investment was for an investor was here in Texas. And the guy said, do you live in Texas? Vinny's like, no. But are you going to move to Texas? Vinny's like, no. He says, have you done these deals before? Vinny was like, no. But here's all the information. He had built a little bit of a relationship with this guy. Here's all the information. This is where we're going. And these are the people that are teaching me. Vinny's worth over $1 billion now, 800 million in real estate, but he's got like 14 or 17 businesses. He's a billionaire. So you just got to go out there and you got to start talking the talk.
And Scott wrote here JV with people. So while you're talking, Stephen's on point. You may have to give up some equity, and if the numbers make sense, but someone's going to also get a bigger piece, they may be more willing to do so, because it's all, like it's all risk, right? Everyone's mitigating risk. So, what Stephen's talking about with Vinney, the guy ran the numbers, developed the relationship. The guy that knows what he's doing was like, oh, okay, cool. This makes sense. The numbers make sense. And if it makes sense, then people will jump on board. But, to just go in and say, I've got an idea, give me some money. They're not, you come in super prepared. You show, look, here's the data, here's a pro forma, here's the patterns, here's all the reasons why this makes sense. They're going to look at the numbers and then go, oh, here's a smart person. Here's someone who's doing the work for me. And then they'd be willing to, mentor you, partner, and get on board.
Sounds great. Yeah, that's kind of where I've been headed myself, is, talking with people, networking and working on forming some relationships to JV. Just kind of wanted to make sure I was going in the right path.
Double thumbs up, my friend. Let's give Tasheen a great round of applause. Nicely done, my friend. Claudia, why is your hand up? You're just supposed to start talking after I say round of applause. That's the cue. That's the cue, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Touching one thing that Stephen and Doug totally, nail it. But the one thing you always want to think is like, you have to show yourself what is there for them, because people don't care what you want. People never care what you want. You have to show them what is there for them. So with the knowledge that you have, and, with all the tips that Stephen and Doug give you, you also have to show that person what is there for them. Don't ever think of you. You always want to focus on that person. And if you do that, then you get what you want. But if you are like, oh, I know this and I know that and I do that and I want that. No, people don't care what you want. You need to worry about what they want and how are you going to make them, rich, and how you're gonna provide for them.
Exactly.
Claudia,
Implicit in the JV.
Yeah. Claudia, you hit on something.
Definitely agree with that, Claudia. And let's definitely connect after this call as well. And, you know, network and just start to build a relationship before we actually need one.
So that's what I was going. Claudia really hit on a strong, strong point. It's not about the money for the investor. It could be about maybe being able to spend more time with their family. Maybe they've got a mom that needs to go into an Alzheimer's or a dementia place. I mean, we don't know. Maybe it's just the charity they want to give to more of. They have a passion for that, right? So if you're going to them and saying you can make a return of income, that's a transaction. You can sit there and go, hey, I know you want to spend more time with your family. This is going to help you solve that problem. Or you know more about them. See, you're talking on a personal level, an emotional level. Doug will agree with me 100%. Everything's made back here. It's the emotions. That's where your decision's making. This just says, yeah, that's why you did it. This doesn't do anything except acknowledge why you did it. Every decision is made back here. So if you can hit somebody and know somebody on an emotional level, you've got a much better chance of making it. Let's give Claudia, that was huge, Claudia. Big round of applause. Quit getting better, everyone. Every time they come on, Doug, this is starting to upset me. It's a better and better thing. I mean, we won't.
Upsetting you? Do you need a hug?
Because they're awesome, and I'm just like, man, this is just getting better. It's upsetting me in a good way.
I know.
So Heather Smith said, once you develop a relationship with someone, there will be conversation and chances to get involved in the financial part of any deal. She said that she would say that herself, but she's also not a panelist.
Well, who is it? I'll fix that.
Heather Smith.
Heather Smith. Let's see. Heather Smith, there she is. We're going to actually, oops. Let me do that again. Promote. I think I did it. Heather, when you get in, start talking. I want you to say it in your own words.
Hello.
There you are.
Yeah, so the thing that I've learned is what we were saying, that when you develop those relationships and it takes time sometimes, then those conversations will open themselves up, because they're like, hey, what are you doing? And, oh, well, I'm doing this. Oh, well, tell me about that. You know, and so the people that would join forces or partner or whatever it is that you're looking for, that's when the conversations will happen. So you just have to get to know people, and it's all about the networking, like you were saying.
Absolutely. I'll share a quick story because then I'm leaving to go with someone that I networked with. I met a guy who, through another friend, through big players, and he's building a media company. And we were just hanging out and we were just becoming friends. And we're actually going to the gun show together today. I'm going to pick him up when I'm done here. And it started out as just sort of a networking conversation. We had lunch, and then he starts talking about this. I mean, he's a real estate guy. He's an industrial guy. He's got tons of other businesses, but his passion is this media thing. And he's like, oh, yeah, and I've been buying all these low-power TV stations and da-da-da. And yesterday, he's like, yeah, I just bought this FM station that also transmits TV in Vegas. And so as we were talking, I'm like, dude, I'd love to support you. Where do I, how can I support you? He's like, what do you want to do? Let's go. You're like, just let's run with it. I'm building the team. So Heather, to your point, just conversations come up as you just build relationships and you connect with people as people. This guy, we connected as humans. I love him as a person. He's a great dude. And if we never do any business, we're still going to be friends. If we can do something, great. And another friend of mine said this, and then I got to go. He was like, do you like going to movies? I was like, yeah. He's like, you like going with your friends? I was like, yeah. He goes, well, why wouldn't you want to make money with your friends too? So as you build relationships, you make it about the relationship. And if you can find ways to, do stuff together, awesome. It's about the relationship. Relationship capital is the most valuable investment you and I can make, is in our relationships. And then from there, we navigate and find ways that it's a win-win-win, because that's the other thing. The people only do business with, they know, like, and trust. So if you can create a trustworthy, likable, lovable relationship, I mean, man, some of these guys, people I know, it's like I can love men like other men. Half these guys that I talk to, when we say goodbye, it's like I'm saying goodbye to my wife. I'm like, all right, love you. And they're like, and they say the same thing, like, yeah, love you too, man. See you, see you at the gun show, or I'm picking them up. But it's powerful when you really stop judging and evaluating people on what they can do for you, but just who they are as people and what you can do for them, and just celebrate life. It's a game changer.
Let's give Heather and Doug a round of applause. Doug has the ability. This does irk me sometimes because he's better at it than I am sometimes. Sometimes I'm okay. I'm gonna get at it, but you say things in a simple way that impact so much. And I'm going to repeat what you said that did that to me. Connect with people as people. That's it. I mean, game over, right? I mean, that's brilliant. So love you.
Yeah. You too, brother. Love you, man.
Oh shit, we were just talking about that, weren't we?
I definitely agree. And to everyone's point, like I would say networking for me, right? I was born with cerebral palsy. So I was born with a physical disability. I have a lot of mobility challenges, but I don't consider myself disabled. That's one of the mindsets that I was, able to overcome. But what I learned was that my talent was being able to have conversations with people, because while all the other kids were running around playing, football and basketball and all that other stuff, I was the kid that was, sitting around the adults and eavesdropping on all of their conversations and starting to learn things, that at that time they would say it wasn't my time to learn that information, but it allowed me to be able to, have conversations with people from all different backgrounds, all different, cultures, and not be scared to, literally walk past somebody in a restaurant and just ask them, like, hey, what is it that you do? Or, somebody goes to move a chair because they see I'm trying to get through with the wheelchair, and that sparks a conversation. And then it's like, how's your day going? Oh, it's going well. My day's going well as well. What is it that you do, or what brings you here today? Like you said, just really connect with people as people, and make friends with them before you need a friend. Get to know the people that you're going to need to know before you actually need to know those people. So you have, a genuine relationship with those people, because again, trust equity and brain equity and relationship equity are key, not only in real estate, but in all of our business adventures.
I was going to say, yeah, your mindset is your superpower.
Yep. And then I gotta go. A really, real quick thing. Tasheen, love that. Do you know who Milton Erickson is? Have you heard of Milton Erickson? So everyone in here. Okay, Milton Erickson was considered the most effective and powerful hypnotherapist ever. He's one of the models of NLP. Almost all of NLP started with modeling Milton Erickson and his language patterns and how he read body language, etc. What made him so powerful, he was a doctor, he became a doctor, but what made him so powerful is he had polio. He was wheelchair ridden as well. And he said, he shared this, he said he would be lying in bed and evaluating and learning and communicating and noticing things like, does their lip change in size? Or he would notice things like, blood pulsing in like the ankles of people. He set up a mirror so he could see even more and communicate and watch whole bodies. And he was the most, look him up, Milton Erickson, Ericksonian hypnosis. He is like the godfather of hypnotherapy and communication. And because of his challenge that he had is what gave him the edge. So, you know, what DJ was shared earlier about victim mentality, that's brilliant that you're using it to your advantage, not to your, you know, compromise. So God bless you, brother.
I like that. Very good.
Right on.
Thank you. Much
Quick
appreciated.
question for you, Stephen. Is there a recession-proof challenge today?
No, there's no
Okay.
resistance challenge today. It's I believe there's a video though. They're getting ready to only do it Monday through Friday because realtors for some reason are doing stuff on Saturdays like showing houses. I mean, the house is there. Why do you need to show it again? I mean, just but anyway, so they're getting ready to do that. So good question.
Okay. Thank you, guys. This is great.
Right on, kids. Gotta go.
So
you so much.
Stephen, where do we go to get those videos? We go on
Doing
Alchemist
the
Nation?
recession proof challenge.
Oh.
And on the Facebook. Usually most of the stuff is on Facebook. Amy, if she's around, would be able to qualify that, but she's
You
usually
can find it on AlchemistNation too.
So we go by whichever lesson is next. Okay.
right on.
And I think they live stream a lot on LinkedIn as well. I usually get notifications as soon as we get in a meeting. It's sending me LinkedIn notifications. So they're all over the place. You can find it. You can find it all
Yeah,
over.
marketing, working all the time. I mean, you know, when we're not, I mean, that's just not right.
Hey, Doug, what was the name of that hypnotherapist?
I don't know if he's here. Look up.
Milton Erickson.
There you go. Richard saves the day. Milton
you.
Erickson. There it is. And Elizabeth has got the fast typing. All right, Scott. All right, everybody. This is amazing. You guys have proven your self-worth again and again and again. Today was no different. All I'm going to say is good luck, of course, laboring under correct knowledge. I'm Stephen Beaver, your TMV mentor. TMV, baby. Take more vacations. That's how we spell your success. You all have a happy and successful day. Bye for now.
Bye,
Thank
Stephen.
you.
Thank you.